of everything.
I want the Kurds to get their own Kurdish homeland and Israel to live in safety. Well, it would be good if the Kurds had the nuclear bomb as well. I tell you what, if the Kurds had their own state and the nuclear bomb, Turkey would stop attacking them. Pardon? What does that mean?
It's rubbish.
It's rubbish.
It's rubbish.
What's rubbish?
Rubbish, Turkey. This is nearly...
What is rubbish? You said it's rubbish. What is it rubbish?
This is nearly 20 years. They are fighting with
You're not going to tell me what rubbish
I
is.
can never control it.
Okay. So Israel's there to stay. No one can destroy Israel, but Israel is supposed to obey international law.
Yeah, but it owns the whole world.
Pardon?
It owns the whole world.
Can you talk a bit louder?
Okay. It's a Russian puppet state.
A Russian puppet state? No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
In your personal opinion, Israel's a Russian puppet state. Do you know? And everyone else says it's an American puppet state. You can't both be right. Actually, Israel is its own sovereign country. It has relations with America, Russia, and many other countries as well.
It has Russians in the high tech.
Yes, and there are many Americans.
And
If you look at Russian high tech, it's crap. It's low tech. Nobody wants to buy Russian cars or Russian airplanes or Russian anything.
Yeah, because they steal
you
it
go
from
to
America.
shops in America, in Britain, anywhere around the world, you won't find anything Russian if it was because it's got crap tech.
Yeah.
If it had good stuff, we'd all be buying it.
Yeah, that's because
So don't pretend that Israel's a puppet of Russia in the slightest.
it is. Because
But
it's
in your
stealing
dream
US
world,
tech
you'd
into
like to
Israel.
pretend it is.
Kind of is. It's stealing US
How,
tech into Israel.
how
That's
come
Whole
Russia
lot case is nothing.
Russia supported the Arabs from 1948
Because it was armed
right up
for
till
business.
1973? And you say Israel's a
Israel
puppet of
arming
Russia,
Iran
but
during
the
the
Russians
Saddam
were backing the Arabs. And that's why the Arabs lost, because they bought crap Russian weaponry. And they learned their mistake, so we won't buy Russian weaponry again because it's crap. Only the Russians say it's good. No one else wants to buy it unless there's sanctions on them and they can't buy anything else. So yes, Russia, Israel is not a puppet of
like
Russia,
Canadian Civil War now.
but Russians are so desperate to make themselves look tough, they try and have these little illusions of grandeur.
You know, France is funding both rebels and Haftar, just like
So
Israel was.
say it again, Russians and Qatar.
No. France. You
France.
see today in Libya, there's a civil war going on.
Yeah.
Haftar and the rebels. France is
So?
funding both sides.
So?
So there's that.
So?
And it's just a big business.
What's the point?
It's just political business. That's what it is.
That's right. And you pretend that Russia controls Israel. Doesn't. It's in your political imagination
No, it's
only.
money.
Only. So where does Israel buy its weaponry from?
It's weaponry from Europe.
Does it buy from Russia? No, it's mostly from America
Why would it?
and some from Europe, and
Why
he
would
makes
it when
its
it
own.
steals American
And
tech?
Israel buys nothing from Russia. Why? Because everything from Russia is crap. And he pretends that Russia is the puppet master of Israel.
Well, then why would
And
they
you've
steal
got
American
nothing
tech?
at all to back it up.
Give it to Russia.
But Russia is so desperate, I guess you're Russian, aren't you?
No, I'm Polish. Half Polish.
And what's the other half?
Algerian. So I don't have anything to do with it.
You've got your own reason for pretending or wanting to believe that Israel is a puppet of Russia. Even though Israel buys nothing from Russia,
That's why would they want to.
and even though it's the only people who sell weapons to Assad in Syria are the Russians,
another story.
yes, and you conveniently pretend it's not there, but it is. Who else does Russia sell weaponry to? Oh, the other dictator in the Middle East, Iran.
I don't care.
And Israel is against Syria. Well, Syria and Iran are
Oh,
both
and you
against
know Iran
Israel.
also funded.
Syria and Iran are both against Israel, and you try and pretend that Russia is somehow involved with Israel.
You do
No.
know. You do know
No.
during the Saddam and Iran war, Israel funded Iran.
Like most countries, like America was sending weapons to both sides. Yeah, and it was only the Iraqis, Saddam Hussein was flying Scud missiles into Israel.
Yeah, he was the closest
Yeah,
one to be
yeah.
a threat to Israel. No one else.
Who?
Saddam.
He's not friends with Israel.
No, threat. He was
Threat.
the only threat to Israel.
Oh, he thinks that Saddam was only a threat to Israel.
Yeah.
Did they
Who else?
invade Kuwait? Did Iraq invade Kuwait?
no.
Yes, they did
I'm not
invade
saying that.
Kuwait. And they fired missiles at Saudi Arabia. And the Saudi government asked America to set up a military base in Saudi Arabia to protect themselves from Iraq, and also Iraq invaded Iran for 10 years. And this idiot here says Iraq has never invaded anyone except Israel.
Yeah,
You're
look,
living in a
you don't even let
dream
me
world.
finish.
You're living in a dream world.
You don't even let me finish. Look,
I heard what you said.
yes,
It was
but the
blatant
only
crap.
threat to Israel was Saddam. That's who it was.
What?
The only threat to Israel was Saddam back then. No one else. So Assad
Oh,
was a
you're living in a
piece of
dream world. So the Syrian dictatorship weren't
Yes.
a threat to
Yes,
Iran.
'cause he-
Hezbollah weren't a threat to Iran. Hamas weren't a threat to Iran. Islamic Jihad weren't a threat to Iran.
you know Bashar
to
al-Assad's
Israel.
grandfather
You're living in a dream
was
world.
elected to the Jewish
Israel's
man.
got lots of enemies. They even admit it. They even admit it.
Bashar
The
al-Assad was
Iranians,
such a
the
threat
Iranians
to
have said,
Israel.
the Iranians have said
did
time and
nothing.
time again they want to destroy Israel, but you pretend that Saddam Hussein was the only threat to Israel.
Yep.
I've never met anyone so dumb on international affairs as you are.
You got one thing wrong.
I think the Polish and Algerian education systems aren't very good. Pardon? No, we're not. Israel is minding its own business.
Actually,
When it's attacked,
actually,
it defends
you're
itself.
settlements minding your own business.
constantly bombing Syria, Iraq. A few 1 week ago, you bombed Iraq.
And why is
You're looking for
Israel
trouble,
putting
you will get
bombs
trouble in
there?
the end, okay?
Because Syria is allowing the Iranians to put missiles there to fire at
So
Israel.
what? So what?
And quite cleverly,
So what?
Israel,
And Saudis allow
Israel
Americans
is taking
to have
out those
American
missiles.
bases in Saudi. So
Very
what?
smart.
One for one. So what?
Well done.
What well done?
You do know
You're not looking for peace. You're looking for
One
war.
at a time.
Do you know what's going to be happening in the near future?
You're not even looking
Do I know what will be happening in the near future? Yes, Israel will
trying to
continue to
pick up a fight
survive.
with bigger
And when
countries
it's
than you.
attacked, Israel will
Know
win.
your size, okay?
That's
Just
the
know your
answer.
size.
Do you know what's going to be
You're
happening?
trying to pick a fight with
We
Iran,
have
which is
guys
10 times
coming
bigger
by
than Israel,
Mubarak and
okay?
they do zoo.
And Palestinians as well, they give us
But you,
headache.
Paris has got nothing
Telling
to do
you.
with it. Yes, they're going to
Palestinians and Israeli, they have given us headache, both of them, I'm telling you.
Yes, they
Both
have.
of them, they have given us headache,
The
okay?
Palestinians won't negotiate a peace with Israel, so why not blame the Palestinians? Israel says, come and negotiate a peace deal, and Hamas and Fatah say no. So why not blame the people who won't sign a peace deal?
Fatah is the slaves of Israel.
migrants.
Fatah said yes. Fatah always
No, if they
kissed
had
the boot
said
of
yes, they'd
Israel.
have signed it,
It's
but
only
they won't
Hamas.
sign it. They could any time. Ever since 1948, the Palestinians could have made peace with Israel and joined the United Nations. Ever since 1948, they haven't done, and they'll blame everyone else but themselves for the fact that they themselves hasn't joined the United Nations and made peace with
But
Israel.
I'm telling you, just be careful. You cannot pick up fight with other countries,
Israel
okay?
is always careful,
You're not-
and
you're not-
Israel
you-
never picks a fight.
They are picking
But when
fights
it's
now.
attacked, it always wins.
How can
That's,
you...
it wins against Arab, yeah, but not against Hezbollah and Iran because they have defeated you already. You know
Hezbollah
that.
and Iran are
in South
Arabs. So
Lebanon.
Hezbollah are Arabs, and every time they fight Israel, Israel smashes Hezbollah in Lebanon.
That's not true because Hezbollah in 2016 Israel admit they lost the war, okay?
no, that's
Israel
not
admit themselves they lost the war.
politically, not militarily. Politically, hardly any Israelis died, about 100, and yet well over 1,000 Lebanese died. Beirut and Tripoli and other places bombed
All
and
you do is
ground.
kill civilians
And you
and
think you
that's what you do in
won?
Lebanon.
I hope
Be
you
quiet,
don't
let
have
me
any more victories like that when there's so much loss of life and destruction in Lebanon.
We don't want war, yeah, but you pick a fight with us. We're
No,
gonna have to defend
Hezbollah
ourselves against
started
you,
that
okay?
war.
Actually, it's Israel who invaded Lebanon. It wasn't Lebanon who invaded Israel.
No.
Mazar'
Lebanon
Shia,
came
they
in
are
and
still taken
kidnapped two
by
Israeli
Israel.
soldiers. Israel
And Golan
rightly
Heights as well.
went to try and get them back. Then Hezbollah started firing missiles in Israel.
Because,
and Israel fired back.
because you think they're like
And then,
Arabs. They're not like
and then
Arabs. They will fight
Hezbollah
back.
surrendered.
They're Shia Alawites. They will fight back, okay? Even
They
if they are a
didn't.
minority, they will still
They
fight back.
gave up.
No, they haven't given back.
Israel did so much damage in Lebanon that Hezbollah eventually signed a peace treaty.
Yeah, they signed it,
They
but
temporarily
you keep
surrender.
on breaking the peace treaty because you're
No,
bombing
in
the
the peace
Hezbollah in
treaty,
Syria, okay?
Hezbollah is supposed to completely get rid of its militia, and it won't.
No,
So you're
because
just-
that's the same
you're
I
just
think.
getting a
Israel should get
bigger-
rid of the army. We cannot
No,
say
it's not
Israel
the
should
same.
get rid of
The
IDF.
UN
We cannot say Lebanon can get rid of
didn't
Hezbollah.
say
okay?
that Israel's got to get rid of its army. It just did the only army in Lebanon should be the Lebanese army, not the Hezbollah army as
Yeah,
well.
so when we give our weapons, you're gonna attack us. We know that. What's gonna
No,
happen,
you give your
okay?
weapons to the
Just like you
Lebanese
did to the Hamas,
government.
just like you did to the
No, you give your
West
weapons
Bank.
to the Lebanese government.
The Lebanese government cannot defend us.
Sadly,
They can't defend themselves, okay? We are defending
Hezbollah
Lebanese
in
government.
Lebanon are more powerful than the Lebanese army.
Because they
and
don't-
when I meet Lebanese, they say the biggest disaster for Lebanon is Hezbollah, who brought them into war against Israel.
Because
Not
they
for
are in
that.
your eyes, that's why.
It's not
They're in
that.
your eyes.
Because they're mad Shiites. That's why.
Because-
they want the destruction of
Because
Israel.
you and your
And they
Saudi
go
masters-
against their own
Yeah,
Quran.
agree together.
They go against their own Quran.
That's according to the Saudi masters, right?
You know, Shias and
According to
Sunnis.
your Saudi masters.
Did you know the
I don't go by your
Iranians
rules,
and
okay?
Hezbollah want to destroy Israel? They openly say
That's
so.
not true.
But their Quran says the children of Israel will return. But they say, oh, fuck the Quran, fuck Allah, we're going to destroy the children of Israel, even though Allah says they're going to come back. And that's why you're backward,
You know-
third world people.
No, that's not us. That's not us. Sorry, that's the guys you're allied with. That's the Saudis. Because you put your hands with the Saudis.
You
So you are
come
backward.
backward, godforsaken
No,
place
you are
on the
backward.
planet.
Because
Hezbollah are supporting
Because you support-
Bashar al-Assad,
you support Saudi Arabia.
killing civilians in
killing
Syria.
innocent people, Saudi
They're starving out civilian cities. That's Hezbollah.
No, everybody's eating. Everybody's well fed. Shut up.
Muslims being
Everybody's
starved
well
out
fed. We have
because
good-
they're Sunnis. Because they're Sunnis who don't bow down to
That's
Bashar
the
al-Assad.
propaganda. That's the Mordech propaganda.
That's why
the
Allah
Mordech
is
propaganda.
punishing you
That's
and
the Mordech
making
Sky
Syria,
News,
Lebanon, and the
American-
Middle East
that's the
the
Mordech
most
propaganda.
backward, godforsaken
You're just saying
place
the same Mordech
on the
propaganda,
planet.
okay?
They all want to get out.
Don't pick
They
fights.
want to go to Europe, Australia, America. They get on
Know
little
your
boats
size.
trying to get
Know
out of the
your
Middle
size.
East
Everything will be okay.
because you've got useless governments,
As long as you-
crap useless governments like Hamas, Hezbollah, Bashar al-Assad, the dictator of Syria,
IDF is a threat
the
as well.
Iranian theocratic dictatorship.
IDF is a threat.
You've got the worst
IDF is
government
a
in the
threat as well.
world, and you've got a mess as a result.
IDF are a threat to civilian population. Everybody knows that.
No, the
IDF
Israeli Defense
regularly
Force
pick up on
never
civilians.
starts a war.
When they
Yes,
go
use it,
when
use
they
it,
attack
use it.
Hezbollah,
Always
somebody their
wins.
size.
Why is Israel still there? Because all the attacks on Israel have failed.
Oh, that's because
That's why Israel is still there.
Israel kills one Palestinian. So the solution is that we pick up Arabs and
Do you know,
okay?
if you read the Quran, the holy book for the Muslims, it says, do not set up sects of
I
Islam.
believe in Abraham,
But
Jewish
what
law,
have they
okay?
done?
I believe in
They
Jewish
set
law.
up sects of Islam. Sunni, Shia,
Don't
Ismaili
tell me
and
Sunni Shia, I
others.
believe in Quran.
And now
Quran law
they were killing the Christians and the Jews and the Kurds and the Yazidis. But now God's got them killing each other. 99% of Muslims are killed by other Muslims.
ISIS, there is
Usually Sunni killing Shia and Shia killing Sunni.
And ISIS is supported by Israel.
I tell you Muslims, I'm not against your Quran.
I tell you
Follow
because-
your
because
Quran.
you have the guns in
Stop
the
having
West.
your different
That
sects
is
of
the only
Islam.
reason why you're winning.
Unite
Israel
behind
is the
one
Palestinians are a big
Quran
headache for us,
and live
okay?
happily ever
We're
after.
gonna finish them soon, both of them.
Because you
We
have,
don't like both of them to be honest.
because you have the
Palestinians,
and
they're
you have
suckers,
the
Israelis,
army,
they're suckers as
and
well.
you have the you have the guns, and you have all the ammunition. You have all the
The Arabs got the guns
Yeah, but
and
you
they're
have a
killing
God.
each other
And
with
you
them.
want to make
The
holidays
Arabs
on
got lots of guns
Israelis.
and they are killing each other.
No, the Arabs have guns that are made
Bizarrely,
in
they're
America
blaming
and Europe.
Israel
Arabs can't
for
make
the
guns.
fact that the Arabs are killing each other.
That's not true.
You have all the
All the
There's
guns.
no Israeli
All the
Arab
behind the ISIS
American
fighters
American
saying,
American
go and
American
shoot that person. They're doing it of their own volition.
Don't believe
They are killing each other of their own volition.
When did the Arabs start killing each other? After the external intervention of the United States in Iraq. Why do the Palestinians not want a peace deal?
Why
with Israel?
did
Because
America
the last
go
time-
into
the
Iraq?
last time
Because
that-
the
that
Arab
Palestine
countries,
wanted a
the
peace deal
Arab
with
countries
Israel.
got a UN
You wanna
resolution
You
to
wanna
try and
listen or you
stop
wanna talk?
Saddam Hussein.
You wanna listen or you
But
wanna
their
talk?
armies are useless.
You thought
so
he was
they
a
asked
threat
America
until
for
you saw
help.
Iran, right? You thought
That's
he was the
good.
biggest threat to you.
Hard
then Iran
luck.
emerged, which is the
Saddam
biggest threat to
Hussein
Saddam
has
okay?
gone. Hard
Saddam
luck.
Hussein has gone.
Now
Khamenei
the
is left,
Iraqi
okay?
people vote for their
Saddam
own
is gone. Khamenei
government.
is left.
The dictator Saddam Hussein has gone. Get used to it.
You're never
So-
listening. All you're doing
done
is
yet?
preaching like the rest of the Christian preachers over there without listening
I'm not
to
a
us.
Christian preacher.
Yeah, but you ain't got
I
one.
listen to everything people
you're
have
ignoring
said.
the fact that Israel had settlement expansion. You're ignoring the fact that during the Oslo
No, I'm
peace
not.
accords,
I got a badge here
Oslo
speaking
peace
out against
accords,
it.
Why does
during
this
the
Use your eyes.
Oslo Accords,
I haven't ignored
Why do they
anything.
conduct
Not-
airstrikes?
We were
against
talking
sovereign
about
nations?
the reason why the
Right?
Middle
Why does
East
Israel
is a
conduct
total
airstrike
mess.
against
you're
sovereign
forgetting
nations?
about Sabra and
I'm
Shatila.
not forgetting about
You're
anything.
forgetting about Sabra and Shatila.
He's
You're
telling me I'm
forgetting
forgetting
the
about Sabra and
annexation.
Shatila.
You're
Did he ask
forgetting
me
the
about it?
prison in
No.
Gaza, right?
I'll
You're
tell you
saying
about
that it's
Sabra and
always a
Shatila.
mistake
The
of the
Arab
Arabs.
militias were killing the Palestinians. Arabs were.
Arabs,
And they
okay.
pretend the Israelis did it.
Both of them.
No, there was a civil war in Lebanon. A civil
Israel never
war.
killed the Palestinians.
A group of Christian fascists attacked some Arabs.
Come take over everything from your Man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
And I believe that the Bible was probably first written by Adam. Not all of it, of course, only the bits he knew. And Moses was a great editor, and he's looked upon as the author of the first 5 books of the Bible. But he would have had